Okay, so this video is for anybody who's been struggling with an iPad and a computer, which one to take, which one should you have, uh, and maybe even having an iPad and thinking of maybe upgrading or downgrading. This video is for you. I'm going to show you how a piece of paper and a computer or an iPad is actually the key, not having both devices. And not only that, that how it can make your life so much easier and it can actually double how whatever you're learning, how much you retain. So I'm someone who has always had like multiple iPads and leaving the house, I'm like, which iPad do I bring? Which charger do I need? How am I gonna do this? What's the best way? And this is what I've been carrying recently, a notebook, literally a notebook. And it has really changed everything for me. Like when I tell you it's changed everything for me, I mean completely. And really just three reasons that have been the biggest change for me is number one, it's allowed me to eliminate distraction. So when I think about like what is distraction, anything that takes your eye off the goal. So if you think about like what was the reason you got the iPad, it was probably to make things a little bit easier, to organize things, to get your thoughts out there, to have it all in one place. It syncs to the cloud. And but at the same time, with all those options, so what are you actually trying to accomplish? Because of that one thing, if the iPad can accomplish everything, then carrying it means when you open it, what are you going to do? Because all the possibilities are there. So having a piece of paper eliminates that distraction because all I can do is get my thoughts out. There's no ads that are going to pop up on the sheet of paper. There's not anyone who's going to come over here and call me and I got to answer it on the sheet of paper, at least not yet in the world we live in. I don't have to worry about any of that. So just having the paper for that alone is so powerful. And here's the crazy thing. When I open the notebook, I know what time it is. Like when I have this piece of paper, like when I open it up, I don't see an app which triggers something like, oh, I never finished watching that YouTube video. Or when I'm making a thought, writing a thought out, I don't get an idea of like, what does that actually mean? Let me go Google that real quick. To do that now is a lot more of a challenge. And for a lazy brain, we don't want to, okay, let me go on the computer, let's open Safari, let's go. No, I'm right here. As long as I keep that pen in my hand and I'm on that piece of paper, I can have all the thoughts out here, everything. And when I tell you, I was someone who, like, I would go out with my computer charger, with my iPad charger. I'd have a Kindle, I'd have a stand for it. Like, I'd have a wireless charger, I have all these different devices. And having all those things, I would almost get this overwhelmed even before I leave. Have you ever felt like that? Like you're gonna go out and you're like, what should I take? And you're like, well, the iPad can kind of do everything, but if I want to write or want to do this, then maybe I need to bring a computer, or maybe I'll take the iPad. But now I'm worried if I leave it somewhere, like, can I get in with the electronics? Like, is someone like all these different thoughts that come through your mind. And here's the thing: none of those came through my mind when I leave with a piece of paper. I leave with a notebook. And really, it's just a rough draft notebook because I know many of you are like, well, Luke, the digital copy, you want to have a digital version. And really, this video is really for creators. Like, it's just something so phenomenal about just a piece of paper, a notebook. So what I recommend is getting like a wider notebook. So the iPad you think you're going to want to have, buy that as a notebook. So like the 12.9 might be too big, but it's heavy, blah, blah, blah. Get the notebook, a bigger notebook. Like this notebook, let me put this. This is compared to an iPhone to give you an idea of how big this notebook is. Okay. It's about the size of my laptop. And I literally use that. I should probably write on the board to kind of explain it, but I'm not sure how am I mirroring this? Let me see. Can y'all read that? Oh yeah. I could write on the board to explain it, but not have the mic set up. Let's take it one step at a time, just coming back to YouTube. Um, but I would say that you eliminate distraction, and eliminating distraction automatically means all the things that you want are there. Do you understand that? You eliminate distraction, everything else you want is naturally there. When you eliminate all the unhealthy foods from a grocery store option, all there's left is the good foods. So this is one thing that I wish I knew this a long time ago. Because I'm telling you, me and my iPad, as much as I love, I've had so many, I probably had at least 8 iPads I can think of. And every single one have been great and amazing, and they do everything, and that can be a little bit distracting. So the second reason is because only you are there, meaning there's nothing on this paper that didn't come from me. No matter how crazy the thought, no matter how crazy the idea, everything here came from me. Is that making sense to you? Like everything came from my mind. My mind came up with all this stuff. So when I open this, all I'm doing is sorting through what's already here, almost like how we scroll on TikTok to look for ideas, we scroll on YouTube or different social media platforms to look for ideas. It's all here. It's like I got my own social media, but this is all my thoughts. These are all my ideas. So for you all who are wanting uh, to create content, to share, and to have you have many ideas, and sometimes the ideas don't go together. But when you have it all out on a piece of paper, which is why I'm starting to think why a lot of people talk about it, from the Jim Rohns to the Brian Tracy's to write it down on a piece of paper, why that's so important. It's because it's all you, which means I can spend 3 days going through all these notes. Everything here had to go through my mind to get here, which who knows when I look at here, what it's going to spark. Random page. What am I looking at? Let's see. It's hard making complex things simple. This is from Dr. Hardy. I went to Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I went to his conference with him there like a few weeks ago. Wrote that down in a notebook. On my iPad, would I go through it? Possibly. But what has to happen for me to get there? So if I want to find this exact thing, like a random thing, first of all, I got to open my iPad. Then from my iPad, I have to find the app where it's in. I use GoodNotes. So I got to go to GoodNotes. Now I got so many notebooks, so many, I got to find that and click on it. And now I got to find it on that page, or I could search for it, okay? But in the meantime, how many distractions do you think I have in each of those processes? From turning the iPad on, I automatically going to see notifications. I'm going to glance down at my email. I got to answer some of these things. I got to get better at my emails. I got so many emails I got to respond to that I put off. So I'm already in the distraction mode because I have all all that's happening. So, and nothing had to happen. Those distractions didn't come from an intentional distraction. Those distractions came from me wanting to actually start to get serious about something. So can you see? You can see how not only can it be, yes, a distraction, but just if you're trying to stay focused and doing the right thing, the distractions are just there in the way. It's not only one GoodNotes application on my phone. I got a bunch of notes, and now maybe I wrote something down in my notes, or maybe there's something here. So that's the reason why this notebook changed everything. It's all right here. I go through it. Everything's here. Everything. And here's the amazing thing. This is a little bonus for you. You can take your notes, and you can now copy it to your iPad. Okay, so don't feel like you got to throw this device away that you have. But now that you have it in this, like in a notebook, now you can sit down and actually copy it over. Now what goes to your brain? Because the person who wrote the notes isn't the same person who's going to be copying the notes. As soon as you get the idea out there, your mind is starting to formulate on that new idea, whether you're aware of it or not, at a subconscious level. So when you copy the notes, you might actually get a whole bunch more. Last video I filmed on here a while ago, and I have my notes here, was like the 29-year-old kid from Cleveland. Number 1 was get out, 2 is create more, 3 is how far can you go. When I copy that in my iPad, I'm going to get about 5 or 6 more ideas because I've already recorded that. And I've already thought about that. So this is a powerful, you're like ingraining those grooves even deeper. Okay, does that make a little bit, are you guys following? You follow me? You follow me? And the last final thing is there's less prep, and that gives you more time to just create. We are creators. You are a creator. You might not realize it. I think we don't forget. We just get so distracted in other things that we stop becoming. We forget to become who we're meant to be. We forget to become who we're meant to be. Now, I know that's a hard concept to realize, but really, like we forget. We literally forget to be who we're supposed to be. Because we work a job or we do something and we're tired and we're like, well, for me, for example, I'm back in Cleveland and I have a proper like job. Like I work in the nights, but it's a proper job. Like while I'm here, I like to stay in shape, good money, and why not do it for like a month or two? And actually, I get to learn a lot about people and customers, and I have friends now in America. I didn't have really friends outside of basketball here. So it's actually really cool. And I can't remember where I was going with that. But the thing is, because we get so distracted with our jobs and stuff, it's like I was thinking today, they wanted me to come in for overtime. Like, hey, you want to come in for overtime? Where the thing I do, I only do 3 days a week. So anything extra is overtime. I'm like, that's some easy, quick money. But yeah, but what's it gonna cost you? Because you can keep chasing the overtime days, getting the money, that is little money compared to what money you can create out of your mind. Everything started here. That anything you see out there all started in the mind. That's your mind. That's my mind. It started in somebody's mind. So what could be more important than capturing what comes through your mind, knowing that you've already had at least $50 million ideas? I want you to think about that. At least. Here's the thing. Has any of you guys ever looked like you see something invented and you're just like, oh, I thought of that first. Like, I thought of that first. Yeah. But you didn't act on it. So that went to somebody else. Or you see a book title where you're like, I was going to write that book. Or for me, this was probably 15 years ago. I came up with this theme, more than an athlete. I was like, I should create a YouTube video, more than an athlete. I could do a talk on more than an athlete. Then didn't do it, didn't act on it. I think 2 or 3 years after that, LeBron coined that phrase. And then Nike used it. Or maybe it was the other way around. Then he had that movie called More Than a Game. More than, and I was like, but you didn't put it out there. Gets lost in the sauce of all the other notes. Although I will say, if you're taking notes, you're already ahead of the crew, because most people don't even get to that point of actually writing down their thoughts. Because one of the greatest things that I heard is that to remember that your mind is not a filing cabinet. Your mind is not a filing cabinet. Someone needs to write that down. That's a writer downer. Your mind is not a filing cabinet. Your mind is not made to. Why do people do so? Not some people don't do so great in school, because we're trying to just memorize this stuff, and then from memorizing it, we're trying to then just, okay, I've memorized it. Okay, let's do it. And then you go out in the real world, you don't remember anything because we're taught to memorize. So when our mind's not a filing cabinet, we need to get these ideas out there, share it with the world, let people see it, let people know about what it is that you're thinking about. Okay, I hope you guys follow me, or you follow me. Okay, so this is something that I've done that has really, really enhanced my life, like drastically, from a level that I actually never would have thought of before. Because I never would have thought how I can create one little idea, and that little idea can go on to sit there for weeks or years, and in the correct moment, in the right time, that idea comes to my mind, and I re-look at what I wrote in the past, combine those two together, and then birth this amazing idea. But if I never would have captured it, if I never would have written it down, so one thing people ask me, what do I regret? There's two things that I regret in this world. Everyone say don't have regrets, but I don't care. It's something that I wish I would have did different. I wish I would have went to Sydney for more time. When I was living in Melbourne, I had 5 days free, and I chose not to. I went there, but not the way I would have went there on that 3 days, 5 days off. And the next thing is that I didn't journal. And technically take more pictures, but I didn't capture enough. Just the capturing of it is the power, the capturing of it, not the saving and all that stuff. That's nice, but the capturing of it. So this is my little thought to you all. I hope that this resonates with somebody. And with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you. I want you to be organized, and in a way that you could at least, it's okay to be messy, I realize, but you got to know where things are. And when you have something, well, this has everything, that's kind of like your house. And how does that work out when you're trying to find your keys in a rush in the morning? Okay. So having it all written down in notebook is like, I don't have to worry about, there's no videos and pictures that I have to go through. It's all captured right here. Get it on a piece of paper. Write it on paper. Nothing against Apple. I'm an Apple boy fan. There's things I like, things I actually do not at all. But I love all their tech. It's helped me in a vast sense, from the simplicity to be able to capture things, a way to be creative. I enjoy it completely. But I've also realized that using the things for what they're used for in their right time is very powerful. You know, trying to clean off glass with a hammer doesn't make the hammer a bad device. It makes it the wrong device to use in that, or it makes it the wrong tool to use for that situation. And for creatives who have your mind being pulled in a million different places, a million different areas you want to go, You cannot, I don't know if we'll ever be able to beat a notebook because there's no distractions. It's only you and a piece of paper. And that has been something that has been banned throughout time. I'm studying the Mayans and watch documentaries on the Mayans. And when the conquistadors came into the Mayan territory, they burned everything to restart. They wanted to burn everything. Now they found things in stone. Archaeologists are still uncovering things, but it was to ban this, writing things down. Through the Dark Ages, hiding, write what you wrote down. They wanted to burn it. Look at history. How many times it's been destroyed? Why would you burn something that's just written down? Because in my opinion, it's the fastest way to transfer knowledge from one to another. One book can give you what someone else took 25, 45, 70 years to learn. But they got it out of their mind onto paper. Now, they could have got it out of their mind, wrote it down somewhere, and had it in other notes, and changed their phone, and changed that. But if it's on paper, you can even take pictures of it after. If you want to be on your phone, but at least get it here first. There's something magical about paper. So this is a reminder for you all to create, share, and more importantly, capture what it is that's in that beautiful mind of yours. And as I always do, if you've made it this far in the video, if you're something I give out to my audience every week, if I have the space and time, if it is, it's linked below, but I give out clarity calls. Book a call with me. If you're feeling like you're kind of stuck on something, it could be literally just, I don't know how to use this or what to do or how I could go about capturing my life. Like, book a call. We can talk, we can get things taken care of. And I don't want you to feel like you're doing this alone. I don't know if, depending on how much I've been booked up, sometimes I make them free, sometimes I charge a lot, sometimes I charge a little. It just depends. But the one thing I will say is getting clear on that setup can be something that sets you free, and it can save you thousands of dollars because you can get all the tech, and then the tech that goes with that, and the tech that goes with that, and then update the tech that you have, and then the old tech has to go. Then you still want to use it, so you find a way to use the old tech, but it's not compatible with the new tech, and the old app doesn't work with the new app, and the software is not upgraded. Things are crap. Like, you can have a lot of frustration coming there. That's all friction that stops you from getting what's in that beautiful mind of yours out there to the world. So with that, maybe another video, I'm gonna try to use this whiteboard for the first time in a video. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I want the best for you guys. It might sound crazy, but I really do. I really believe in that. I really believe that you're here to change the world. You stumbled onto this video for a reason. So you guys have never seen me before. Sometimes you never will see me again. But this video was just what you needed. And it was for you. So with that, stay blessed by the best. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.